At the end of this lesson, you should be able to do the following. Explain the importance of energy to organisms. Explain how all living things depend directly or indirectly on green plants for food. Distinguish the major types of relationships which exist between organisms within a community. Create a food chain showing the feeding relationships between animals and plant species. Create a food web showing the feeding relationships between animals and plant species. Appreciate the role of bioenergetics in the ecosystem through creating an energy pyramid. What is bioenergetics? What is the importance of sun's energy to organisms? Trophic levels, food chains and food webs. How do species interact? What is bioenergetics? Bioenergetics is the study of the flow and transformation of energy in and between living organisms and their environment. What is the importance of the sun's energy to organisms? In an ecosystem, there is energy, and this is what allows the organisms to live. This energy mainly comes from one original source, photosynthesis. The plants use the solar energy to produce carbohydrates, which are then consumed by other organisms, transferring the energy. Trophic levels. Figure 1.2. The trophic levels of food webs and equivalent terms. Food chains and food webs. A food chain indicates the transfer of energy from producers through a series of organisms which feed upon each other. Grass is consumed by a grasshopper, is consumed by a mouse, is consumed by snake, and is consumed by a hawk. A food web is a series of interrelated food chains which provides a more accurate picture of the feeding relationships in an ecosystem, as more than one thing will usually eat a particular species. How do species interact? Competition is a negative interaction between species where both suffer as a result. Predation is the consumption of one organism by another. Parasitism. A parasite is an organism which obtains its nutrients from another organism known as the host. Mutualism is usually reserved for symbiotic relationships where there is evidence of mutual benefit to both participants. Commensalism describes the symbiotic relationship between two organisms which is beneficial to one, known as the commensal, while the other is relatively unaffected. Amensalism is a relationship in which a product of one organism has a negative effect on another organism.